Hello and welcome to Ear to the Ground. Well, imagine one day you got a letter in the post telling you that your farm was now a specially protected area and there was a long list of things you could no longer do with it. Imagine if that led to your farm becoming more or less worthless, and to top it all, you get no compensation. Well, exactly that happened to over 4,000 farmers in Ireland, and I'm here in County Cork to meet some of them. The issue here revolves around protecting one of Europe's most threatened species and a bird native to Ireland, the hen harrier. Since 2007, under EU law, nearly 420,000 acres of land across 9 counties from Monaghan to Kerry have been designated as protected areas. Jason Fitzgerald is one of the farmers impacted. Nearly all of his 126-acre farm is part of the conservation area. He wants to sell the land to buy a dairy farm, but is finding it impossible.
Basically, the biggest problem is the farm is worthless. You can't sell the farm. You look who's going to buy the farm. It's either going to be another farmer or someone who wants to invest in forestry. And forestry is not permitted currently under SPA designated areas, and farming is severely restricted. So a farmer going out to buy a farm land, he's not going to buy a problem farm when he can buy one that's without problems.
There are thousands of farmers around Ireland whose land has been designated and who aren't being compensated. So how are they coping?
Well, to be honest, they're not. They're leaving land. Some of the land we've seen experiences where the land is just being neglected, just walked away from it. It's been left abandoned.
It's the Department of Arts, Heritage and Non-Gaeltacht that designates the areas of conservation. But it's up to the National Parks and Wildlife Service to ensure that this land is managed and farmed in a way that creates the best possible environment for the hen harrier.
Unfortunately, the population of hen harriers across the country had declined massively. From the 1970s, there was about 300 pairs estimated in the country, and the last survey was just down to about over 100 confirmed pairs. But if we look at the protection areas, we need to actually consider why are these areas so important and why are the birds where they are. And the reason for that is obviously because of the way the land has been managed, and for that the farmers have played a very important part. And you won't have the habitat if you don't have the farmers, and if you don't have the habitat, you don't have the birds.
It's very important that the hen harrier is protected, but if you look back prior to the designation, farmers felt that they were protecting the hen harrier. We feel it's a complete unnecessary designation, and if farmers were incentivised to provide the habitat without the designation, we would have seen that as a much better resolution.
2% of the country's landmass has been designated as conservation areas, but half of that was already planted with commercial forestry prior to 2007, eating into the hen harrier's natural habitat.
Hen harriers are typically a bird of open country and of upland habitat. So typically they nest on the ground in habitats like heather moorland, rough grassland and dense scrub. And they need a kind of a diversity, a mosaic of habitats for their hunting requirements that has a good supply of the prey that they're looking for, small birds and small mammals.
Why are they declining?
The upland areas where hen harriers occur, there's been a lot of forestry, particularly within the special protected areas. Hen harriers and forestry, it's quite a strange relationship. The birds will actually nest in young growth, in young forest plantations during the early stages, but then as the forest develops and the canopy closes over, the forest actually becomes useless from the hen harrier's point of view.
Maurice Flynn is a dairy farmer from West Limerick. In 2013, some good quality land adjoining his farm came up for sale.
Most of my land would be marginal and some of it would be excellent quality forestry land. And I went to a few auctioneers and forestry reps and got the one question from all of them as soon as I approached them, that was my land designated under SPA.
And when you said it was?
Straight away, everyone, it was, oh. They said, well, it's no good for forestry and your land is basically almost worthless.
Have you been able to expand it all, Maurice?
No, I haven't. So for me, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I had to sit back and go by.
Dan Casey left his farm in Ballydesmond on the Cork-Kerry border to his son Martin, who about 4 years ago tried to sell 20 acres for forestry use.
When it was offered for sale, he had an offer of £3,500 an acre for it, and 10 days after, the forestry company withdrew that offer, say, on account of it being designated. I would like at least to be allowed to sell the bit of land that he inherited from me, if he thought that he was going to better himself somewhere by doing so.
We don't actually have an issue with the Hen Harrier as such. The Hen Harrier has been there for our fathers and forefathers before, and there has always been a habitat there for them. The relevant bodies will just have to come up with a solution that's going to be workable for the protection of the Hen Harrier, and with farmers as well, that we'll be able to put the value back in our land.
But many of the farmers affected claim that the only way to put that value back in their land is through forestry. And with this being detrimental to the well-being of the Hen Harrier, what can be done?
I think we need to change our attitudes, and that there needs to be proper incentives provided for the farmers to continue farming the land, which is of benefit to wildlife in general, and that through that these areas are recognised for their value from an environmental point of view. And I think that's the key issue.
The only way that these protection areas will work for the birds is if the people that are managing the landscape are actually supported to support that wildlife. And I know myself, because I'm from a farm background in this very SPA, and in these areas, like, farmers would tell you that they would have always seen it as a sin to actually plant the land, because, okay, you might get a grant for 15 years, but thereafter it's lost to use, really, from an agricultural point of view. So what we need to do is to provide farmers with a viable option other than forestry. There's 250 million euros set aside for agri-environmental schemes over the next number of years that the Department of Agriculture will be administering, and the Hen Harrier protection areas have been identified as some of the most important areas to actually support farmers.
With Hen Harrier numbers in serious decline and a new nesting season almost upon us, it's a matter of urgency that this issue is resolved for all concerned.
From chatting to some farmers that are at the point of having no other options and leaving their land, I think it is absolutely critical that we recognise the value of maintaining farming in these really important and diverse upland areas, and that is sustained, and I think that's absolutely crucial.
You look at who is actually protecting the Hen Harrier, and it is the farmer who's protecting the Hen Harrier. It's the farmer that provides the habitat. It's not someone that writes an article in the paper or someone who sends a tweet giving out about farmers about the Hen Harrier. It's the actual farmers who are protecting the Hen Harrier, and that's something that has to be acknowledged.